Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Immigration Talk Show. I'm your host, Sam, and today we are here with another very exciting webinar that is lined up just for you on Daily Immigration Dose, that is streaming live at 4 p.m. EST. And we are live on YouTube, available on LinkedIn, Facebook, X, and on Instagram as well. So don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Our handle is at Immigration Talk Show. And friends, before diving into the topic, let me read out this very important disclaimer. By watching our videos, you agree and understand that the information shared, including user comments, is not a professional advice. Use at your own risk. Our intention is never to offend, it's just a casual exchange of ideas. And friends, it's 2 p.m. EDT, but usually we have our show at 4 p.m. EDT. But at 4 p.m., we have our another show that is lined up with attorney Karen Lee Polak. So that is really going to be very interesting, and we are going to dive into a very informative topic that is what are the common mistakes that you can avoid in your H-1B lottery 2025. So do join us there and also ask as many questions as possible because that's really going to be a very informative session for all of us. And friends, today the topic that we are going to have in Daily Immigration Dose is very interesting and very important. That is self-deportation and why immigrants are choosing this path. So to help me out in having a great discussion on this topic, please, I would like to say hi to my co-host Nipasa Pradhan. So hi Nipasa, I'm so happy to have you here again and hopefully you're doing great.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Sam. And it's always nice to be here on Immigration Talk Show on Daily Immigration Dose. This discussions with you. I mean, these discussions with you are always really interesting, very important topics we always discuss. So, Sam, I'm looking forward for a good session today as well. In fact, I just had a very nice session with attorney Sophie Alcorn. And for those of you who missed it, go check out at Immigration Talk Show because there's so much great and important information you wouldn't want to miss out. It was an AMA, and we had a good turnout. So I would like to say thank you to each one of you who joined us, and also yes, ask me anything session it was. So you're also free to join us here. You can also join us to ask whatever questions you have. But more than questions, we would appreciate if you participate in the discussion. And that you can do so by commenting wherever you're watching. We are live right now on YouTube and also on um, LinkedIn, Facebook, X, and on Instagram as well. So check us out. And you can also join us on call. And for that, you just have to dial this number 425-436-6335, and the access code is 988-888. So join us, friends. And yeah, I'm very happy to be here, Sam, once again. So,
Yeah,
like you said, it's a very important discussion today because this is what is happening in the self deportation and what is it? What is the CBP1 app? So many things to discuss about. What's the scenario here in the United States? So, friends, do join us. And if you are facing any such issues or you have this anxiousness or fear of being in a state of detention where you could be deported as well, let us know and let's discuss. So, thank
that's
you. Yeah. Sam, before we head on with discussions, I think we should also give out some news updates. What do
news
you
update.
say?
That's right, that's right. I was about to say that only. And
Okay.
okay, let's begin our session with the news update because that's another thing very important to understand with our viewers. So here's a very important news, friends, and that is about green card holders in the US are facing unprecedented scrutiny. So of course, it's 2025. So many new things are happening. A lot of surprises, lots of shocking news are also coming as the H-1B demands are also decreasing. And today also self-deportation cases are also to be heard. And of course, the green card holders are also facing unprecedented scrutiny. So let's see what this news is all about. With reports of strip searches, violent interrogations, and even threats of expulsion. Indian green card holders, especially senior citizens who frequently travel to India, are among those being flagged and questioned upon re-entry.
Seems like there's an issue with Sam's
The
connection, but
administration
not to worry. I think
guarantee
let's go
legal
over and
residence.
me Let me start with this news update. So, yes, friends, to start off, we hear that H1B and F1 visa holders are warned, travel could leave you stranded. So, I think, yes, if you are on an H1B or F1 visa, think twice before leaving the United States because, yes, that is what not I'm saying. Immigration attorneys are really urging caution as delays in visa processing is also happening, heightened scrutiny in the United States, airports, and even unpredictable administrative processing could leave travelers stranded abroad for months. So I suggest if you are in the United States, stay in the United States. And yes, even green card holders, they have actually been advised to avoid non-essential travel due to increased vetting upon re-entry. And this goes out to even old folks because we are reading news every day and we hear, so many different kinds of situations that folks out there have to face. And it's really sad a scenario, but to avoid all of that, yeah, stay in the United States. And one of the biggest concerns is the change in the US Department of State's interview waiver Dropbox policy. Previously, visa holders could qualify for Dropbox if their visa expired within the last 48 months. Now, that eligibility has been reduced to just 12 months, meaning more applicants must go through in person interviews, leading to longer wait times for visa renewals. And H1B holders needing extensions and F1 students transitioning to H1B visas could face significant delays. So, yes, immigration attorneys are also seeing a rise in extreme vetting, with many applicants, placed in administrative processing without clear reasons. So, some who have had their visas approved also multiple times before are now facing unexpected scrutiny. Even if USCIS has, already approved an H-1B petition, a consular officer can still refuse the visa and send it back for re-adjudication, further delaying the process. And given these risks, immigration experts strongly advise visa holders to reconsider travel plans unless absolutely necessary. So if travel is unavoidable, applicants should have contingency plans, such as the ability to continue working remotely in case of delays. And I would really also suggest, it's better not to risk traveling abroad right now. And if you have someone, who has faced all these kinds of extreme vetting, also let us know, tell us their story. We would like to hear and share also so that, our audience and viewers also are aware and that they wouldn't have to face any such issues. So that would be my news update. And Sam, if you can continue, with Mark Rubio's. And I think there is some issue again with the audio. Sam, if you can check that, please. But I do hope that Sam could be back so that, we can have this discussion. And friends, today's topic is a very, very interesting one. Self-deportation. Why are immigrants choosing this path? And what is it really? If you talk about it, it's let me start off what is self-deportation, I think. And that way, we could head on with what else governs this. So self-deportation really refers to, an individual voluntarily choosing to leave the United States without formal government intervention, even legal proceedings, or direct removal by immigration
Hello.
authorities, since what is happening, and unlike voluntary departure, which involves a judge's approval, legal hearings, and specific criteria for eligibility, self-deportation is really an informal process that allows individuals to exit the country on their own terms. And I think this is what is happening. They're given the choice also, and many folks are actually attempting to do this because they'd rather do it themselves than face many other challenges or so with the introduction of the CBP home app, which we will talk further later in the session, self-deportation has also been streamlined, allowing migrants to notify authorities also of their decision to leave the country and ensure that their departure complies with US immigration policies. So, yes, it's actually the administration. Our President Trump's administration has positioned, self-deportation as an alternative to mass deportation efforts as well. Arguing that it really reduces costs and also minimizes the strain on law enforcement agencies. And not just the agencies, I think also to the individuals, who are not really ready to be chucked out than, move out themselves. So that's another option they have. So, however, there are critics also who argue that self-deportation policies often rely on, making conditions unbearably difficult for undocumented migrants. And that could be through restrictive laws, limited access to resources, and even, heightened immigration enforcement forcing them to leave rather than being forcibly removed. So, we will talk further on this, but I'm happy that Sam is back. And hi, Sam. Oh, not back actually. All right. Seems like there's quite an issue today, but not to worry, friends. I would really like to say hello to folks who have joined me on this discussion. So, hi, Sneha, and hi, Priya. Thank you for joining me on this discussion here on Daily Immigration Dose on Immigration Talk Show. So, let's quickly start off with Sneha saying, I've been living in the US without legal status for a while. Okay. How are you doing that? And I'm worried about getting caught by immigration authorities. You should be. And what are the legal consequences of self deportation? And how does it affect my future chances of returning to the US? Well, I don't think you will be allowed to, enter the US later. That is, I mean, especially that you would now be saying that you are agreeing that you are without a legal status for a while and you are willing to self deport. I'm sure it'll have its consequences. And we could really take this up, to an attorney who would give you an expert opinion as well. So thank you, Sneha, for commenting and for participating with your question. But from what I read, your situation doesn't really look that great. So, I mean, I would just say prayers for you. Hi, Sam. I hope I can hear you now. And
Don't know
no.
why.
Okay, it is working or not working. Um, I think, Sam, we might have to figure out some problem, but if possible, maybe you could rejoin us and hopefully the issue would be fixed. But otherwise, yes, continuing to Priya's comment, Priya is saying President Trump has a clear message. If you are here illegally, we will find you and deport you. You will never return. There you go. But if you leave now, you may have an opportunity to return and enjoy our freedom and live the American dream. That is interesting. It seems like Priya has sort of given an answer to you, Sneha. So there you go. You have your answer. And well, Amarjit is next, saying, excuse me, this initiative is part of a $200 million Stay Out and Leave Now campaign by the Trump administration, warning undocumented immigrants that failing to leave voluntarily could result in harsher penalties, including permanent bans from returning. That is what we hear. And it is a serious matter. I mean, firstly, overstaying is not a good situation for you. If you have overstayed and if you are not in status, it is definitely not looking that great for you. Sort of ugly, I would say. So, Amarjeet, yes, probably the Stay Out and Leave Out $200 million initiative campaign. But yes, there you go. So, um,
Yeah. Am I
it is,
audible now,
is,
Nipasa?
what do I say? Oh, yes, you are. Um, Sam, I'm happy to have you back, actually. I was wishing you were here because it's supposed to be a discussion, right?
I'm
But I'm
so
so glad
sorry. I
that,
don't
you
know. Yeah. I'm so sorry, folks, and to Nipasa also. I don't know why, what's wrong is happening here. But okay, let's continue. And thank you so much, Priya. Also, I can see a lot of comments here. And
Yeah, I've
Amrajit is
taken all of
also
them
here,
actually. Yeah.
Sneha. Oh, I'm so sorry. I just missed all of them, but that's okay. We can get back as you have already taken. Then, yeah, Napasa, as we were discussing about the topic, right? So I think, okay, let's have a discussion on self-deportation also, as now it's also the introduction of the CBP Home app, right? And this is a very
Yeah.
new thing, and most of the people, especially the immigrants, they are very afraid regarding the CBP Home app. But shockingly, the thing is that immigrants are using this and they are trying to deport themselves by their own. So there are so many things, there are so many process, and also what's happening right now, friends, is that Trump administration has made a big changes to an immigration app, and that is called earlier it was CBP One app, but now they have modified it and converted this app into CBP Home app. So this app has been transformed into a self-deportation app. And if we also talk about what is CBP Home app, then it's actually an application that is created by the US Customs and Border Protection CBP Home officials. I mean CBP officials, and the main purpose of this app is to allow the individuals in the US, especially those who are without legal status, to voluntarily self-deport themselves. That is to leave the country on their own rather than going with the whole deportation process, because obviously that's not very clear. That's not, the process is really disheartening, and also the mental torture is also there. And of course, the process that's so long, so it takes a lot of time and money and so many things. So just to get rid of that deportation process, to make the system more, I would say, easier and simpler in terms of deportation, that is why Trump's administration has come up with this new CBP Home app. And of course, I think the purpose of CBP Home app is also very clear, to give people the option to voluntarily leave the country as part of broader campaign that is called Stay Out and Leave Now. That is also a campaign that has been introduced by Trump's administration, and they are following to it. And this campaign aims to encourage those living in the US who are illegally, wants to self-deport themselves. So yeah, what happened to asylum seekers also? There are so many things. But with that, Nipasa, please go ahead and add more into the conversation.
Thank you so much, Sam. And yes, I mean, this is the same app that used to be CBP One app, and that's where people could, claim for asylum, and they could, well, let me just tell you what it really is, the CBP Home app, which is now what it is called. So the CBP Home app is basically a newly launched digital platform, which is introduced by the Trump administration, of course, on the 10th of March. Very new, and it is a replacement of the previous CBP One app, right? So initially, it was designed under President Biden's administration to help immigrants schedule appointments, at legal border crossings. But after facing backlash from the Republican critics, of course, who claimed it really facilitated mass immigration as well. So President Trump shut down the CBP One app immediately, and that happened upon taking office, and he rebranded it, called it CBP Home. So now this app, CBP Home app, it serves as a drastically different purpose, of course. Like, it really encourages undocumented migrants in the US to self-deport voluntarily. So if you go check it out, it also says, basically it is to depart with, conscious decision, that yes, I'm okay to leave US behind and go back home. So that is what is happening, and avoid possible legal detention as well. So this actually could help avoid legal detention and even formal deportation, which is otherwise more harsh, just like Samuel already said. Also, the tortures, mental torture is also a different situation when it comes to that, like being called being called a criminal is another, and going to your home country shackled or tied, or even represented like a criminal. It's really sad and not a very good situation. So I mean, that's one thing, right? And
Yeah.
if you talk about it, it's a central feature of the Trump's 200 million sorry, $200 million stay out and leave out, just like we have Amarjit who has said this. So Amarjit, thank you so much for also participating once again on this conversation. I wish you can call us. Please call folks out there. You can also join us on this discussion by calling us on this number 425-436-6335, and the access code is 988-888. Join us. All right. So, yeah, talking about that. So, stay out and leave out campaign. This campaign, it actually aims to pressure individuals, sort of, who are residing illegally in the US to exit the country before facing harsh immigration penalties. So, there you go. That's another important point to keep in mind.
Yeah.
And the app also allows users to declare their intent to depart, confirm financial ability also to leave, and check logistical details such as travel permits and even border wait times. So, yes, the administration argues actually that CBP Home simplifies the departure process, easing the burden also on immigration enforcement while also discouraging, future, you can say, unlawful entry to the US. So, these are some things which this app does now. And it's I mean, it's sad, right? When they shut down the CBP One app, it was very sad because so many people were already registered in it, who were registered to enter the US. And
Yeah.
suddenly the shutdown of the whole app means like all the registrations just down in the drain. I wonder what
Right.
happened.
Actually,
And yeah.
that's right. CBP One app was the only way where the asylum seekers, they were waiting for their appointments, and that was the only way where they can enter the US legally. And after banning that app, everybody has this question now, what about the asylum seekers? Because they are not having any other choice than to, I mean, if they want to enter the US, then of course there's no other legal way for them to come into the US. But also, Nipasa, to clarify on this discussion, I would like to take a case study, and that's a very important case study. That's a girl who was actually studying in US in Columbia University, and her name was Ranjani Srinivasan. So she
Ranjini.
is, yeah, she's the first girl, first person who has used the CBP Home app, and she has self-deported. So it's a
Yeah.
breaking news and it's all over the internet that why she did this, what are the reason, what was her story, so many things. So, okay, let me go with it. That Ranjini Srinivasan was actually an Indian student who was studying in the Columbia University, and she left the United States after her visa got cancelled. So the US Department of Homeland Security uh, canceled her visa because they were saying that she was involved in because she was trying to support Hamas, a group labeled as a terrorist organization by the US government. So they were saying that they were claiming that Ranjani was actually supporting Hamas, and they were taking these things as a very anti-national kind of thing because obviously she was supporting a terrorist organization, and that was clearly visible that it's not going to favor the US at all, and that is why they rejected the visa. And Srinivasan, who was also studying urban planning, she decided to self-deport on March 11th, 2025 by using the CBP Home app. And Homeland Security also, Secretary Christy Noem, she also stated that US visa is a privilege and should be taken away if someone promotes violence or terrorism. So according to them, Ranjani was in favor of terrorism, was in favor of violence, and that is why they had this reason to reject her visa. And of course, when someone, especially an immigrant, who get caught, uh, especially supporting any terrorism activity or any violent activity, then of course their deportation process is really, really tough and really hard. They have to go with lots of process, they have to face lots of torture or whatsoever things will happen with them. And that is why Ranjini Srinivasan has decided to self-deport herself so that at least she can she had to skip those difficult process or tougher stages what the deportation process actually looks like. And the administration has also warned that more deportation could happen as they continue investigating the protest at Columbia University for protest. And Napasa, what is more, I would say, a better news about it, that there was also this guy, Muhammad Khalil, who was also studying in the Columbia University as a student and who got arrested and is now facing deportation due to his participation in these protests. And there was another individual who was Lika Cordia, a Palestinian from the West Bank. She also got arrested. So, these are the similar cases where we can see people who were actually supporting the terrorism group or terrorist activities got arrested and, are now going with the deportation process. So I think these are the steps how Trump's administration are taking very aggressive all the illegal immigrants or trying to make America free from these people, at least so that it won't be coming or they won't have to face any violent activity or anything like this. So yeah, this was all the case, and this is also the reason that why they rejected and why she self-deported herself. Nipasa, can you hear me? Okay, friends, I think I'm so sorry. I think just few minutes back I was stuck and now Napasa is stuck. I don't know what's happening, but that's okay. We can go ahead with more information. And right now, I think let's take a short break because it's also important to get more and more questions from our viewers so that we can have more discussion. So, friends, don't go anywhere. It is the topic is very interesting and very informative as well about self-deportation and why immigrants are choosing this path. So till now, we understood what is CBP Home app, why Trump's administration has launched this CBP Home app, and also we understood what is self-deportation, and we also went through one case study of Ranjini Srinivasan, and there we understood everything that who used the CBP Home app and how did she get the approval and why she, to get her self-deportation and so many things. So with that, friends, don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Until then, keep watching Immigration Talk Show. I'm Sam, and with me, my co-host, will be right back. So don't go anywhere.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Immigration Talk Show. And this is Daily Immigration Dose. So, friends, thank you so much for also, joining us on this conversation. We are having this discussion on self-deportation. Why are immigrants choosing this path? And it's really nice to have you join us in comments. So, keep commenting, and if you wish, you can also join us on call. And the number you have to dial is 425-436-6335, and the access code is 988-888. So, I mean, Sam, it has been a real serious matter, self deportation. And of course, lately it's been deportation and all these raids we're having, ICE raids. Of course, now it's the H-1B season, H-1B taking up, but we still hear a lot of deportation issues. And now with self deportation, another new thing coming in since the 10th of March. So, there you go. I mean, you were speaking about the cases, Mohammed Khalil and, of course, Ranjani as well from the same university. And it's a serious matter, So now folks have the option to get yourself deportated voluntarily, without waiting for ICE agents or someone from the Trump administration come and charge you. So there you go. So, Sam, what else would you like to tell folks out there?
I think, yeah, today the topic, it was very informative that we talked about what is self-deportation,
Yeah.
and also we let our viewers know about the case study. But here's another question that I would like to ask from our viewers, that friends, please let us know, what do you think about this, that why immigrants are choosing this path, why they are self-deporting, and what can be the motive behind CBP Home app. So me and Nipasa are obviously discussing and we are sharing our views. But of course, if you guys can also put up in the comment section, what guys do you think about the topic, and do you think that this is fair enough? Do you think that self-deportation is going to make system fairer one, or is actually going to complicate the system more and more? Because there can be so many different perspectives, and of course, at the end of the year only, we can get to know that whether the decision was correct or not. So lots of opinions are there and lots of news also are there that we are hearing day by day. It's really eye-opening, really shocking, also surprising. Lots of things are happening. So yeah, I think Napasa, now let's also talk about that why immigrants are actually choosing this path. So, as I talked about the case study about Ranjini Srivastava, so according to me, I think that now people are really afraid, because this time, for the very first time, if we take back just few months ago, then we also saw that Indian illegal immigrants who have been deported, 104 or maybe more than that, they have been that shackles have been there, handcuffs were there, and they have to sit properly all throughout the military plane. They weren't even using commercial planes. So these examples are actually making everyone understand that this time Trump's administration are not going to tolerate any illegal immigrants in USA. So, by having this also, by setting an example and by also having these incidents, I think people are very scared right now. They are in tension, they are properly anxious, and they don't want to, feel that. I would say deportation process, or they don't want to face that deportation situation because that's really shameful, and that's also not going to be, a good thing for them. So I think, yeah, just for because they are very afraid and also they don't want to go with that process, I think that is why they are self-deporting themselves. So this can be the reason from my end. What do you think? What can be the other
Yes,
reasons?
absolutely could be. But if you talk about Ranjani's case or Muhammad Khalil's case, I think more than fear, it would be the want of not being a part of the United States anymore for them. Because they were, they as we know that they were activists and they had different notions, they had different points to prove, and definitely, U.S. is not a place for all of that. So yeah, I think they definitely did the right thing for themselves and for the country as well. And I'm sure folks out there will also agree. What do you say, Sam?
Mhm. I don't know, and I don't think that it's actually going to be a right thing because obviously they were supporting Hamas, and that was a terrorist organization. So if they are supporting them, then of course they may have a similar ideology, and that's really going to be harmful for the future of USA. And Trump's administration are not going to take any second chance to, have any terrorist activity or to, I mean, get anything regarding terrorist
Of
organization
course.
to support, and they are just going to sit idly and not going to take any action. Of course, they are not. They are very strict. They are very tough because also the legal people, the legal immigrants, they are also are like asking questions all the time, and they are also under
Yeah,
interrogations,
I mean,
right?
I mean that's there, but
So,
what I'm saying is it's not just fear, but it's also many other points. I wouldn't say that they're just deep. I mean, these two students from Columbia University, they just deported themselves out of fear. I wouldn't just say it's fear, but they have different points to prove as well. So that is why, and definitely not supported by the US as well. But Sam, like the scene out there is definitely a lot. I mean, there's so much vetting, so much scrutiny. There are raids, there are deportations, detentions, and so on and so forth. So much going on, and we even hear at the airports, where older citizens who are traveling, who have traveled and are returning back to the US are facing problems. Even forced to sign the 407 form, right? I mean, these things are not very great a situation. So I think what would be best right now is not to travel at all. Stay, do your research, stay updated, what is happening, and wait out. It's the time to wait, I think, for now, because there are too many changes happening. We are waking up to so many changes, so many updates. We need to update ourselves, and only then maybe let the things settle down a bit and plan travels later, I think.
yeah, that's right. Of course, because that's the only option left for our viewers. And that's the safer option only, as we have been having shows with our attorneys, and they also, suggesting the same thing that it's better not to travel this time. Stay wherever you are and grab more and more information, and don't take any wrong step, just for the sake that you are, whether you are illegal or whether you are legal, I mean, just stay wherever you are and try to take a legal help only, because that's only you are going to save yourself. And there's always a way, friends. Don't be hopeless and stay connected with us, because me and Nipasa are having discussions on these very important topics, and we also talk about case studies so that our friends get to know each and everything with a very great understanding without any doubt. So I think, Nipasa, today we talked about this topic, and that's all from my information. Anything that you would like to add on before wrapping up?
I mean, that's all I would say. Stay updated. It's very important, read up and know the rules and see how you can play safe. And if you think that you're not in a very, very good situation, it's always best to consult an attorney. And you can do so. In fact, if you don't have a good attorney, maybe, or you don't know one, you could check out Immigration Talk Show. That's our handle. Check us out. And we keep having amazing webinars. In fact, we're going to have one lined up in just about an hour or so, with none other than Karen Lee Pollock as well. So do join in, because it's going to be a very important discussion as well. What are the top mistakes to avoid in your H-1B lottery 2025 application, since folks out there are still filing right now till the 24th of March, right? 12 p.m. Eastern time. So all the best, and stay tuned to our channel, because there's so much coming in. And like I was saying, contact attorneys. So check out our webinars. We have very interesting ones, very informative ones as well. And that's where you can find some contact information of each of the attorneys. See with who you resonate, maybe who would be best for you, and connect accordingly. All right. And even if not, you can connect with us. You can even call me on my number or WhatsApp me, leave your details, and maybe I could help you. Lead you to an attorney. And my phone number is 408 335 6444. Once again, I repeat, 408 335 6444. And you can leave me an email by writing to me at nipa@staffingly.com, or leave Sam an email by writing to her at sam@staffingly.com. So that said, I think, yes, we will be wrapping up now. But friends, don't go anywhere. Stay tuned to our channel because we have a lot more coming up. And like I said, a very interesting webinar also lined up. So, Immigration Talk Show. And also, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon so that whenever we have discussions like these, you're also notified. And follow us, connect with us. We are on LinkedIn, Facebook, X, and Instagram. Check us out and stay in touch with us. So, I think this is it, right, Sam? We'll just,
Thank you so
yeah.
much. Yeah,
Okay.
I think, yeah, that's all. And thank you so much, everyone, for joining us. And see you tomorrow. Until then, have a great
Bye
day.
bye.